the big energy that I really see shifting here is a massive cosmic frequency, gamma rays. Not just from the supernova that happened a couple years ago, but there's also other, I want to say star frequencies, gamma frequencies bombarding us from the inside out. So you guys, I don't know if you know this about, I think it's the gamma rays. I'm pretty sure it's the gamma rays. Neutrinos, sorry, the neutrino waves. Sorry, neutrinos are beyond time and space. So a neutrino could be here in this moment and then pass through matter like there's no time at all and be in the Andromeda galaxy the next moment. And it defies science, but these particles move through time and they transcend time and space. They can pass through anything as if it's not there. Those are the frequency waves that I'm talking about that are bombarding us and preparing us for moving forward into a new paradigm. These frequencies are hitting our core light, our core seat of the soul here, as well as that within the Mother Earth, the Pachamama. So this is impacting us in a very, very deep way. And this is what the drama is unfolding in March. It's the structures inside our subconsciousness, the structures inside of our being, belief system, emotional body, all these things that are not in acceptance of the truth, that are based on folly, that are based on falsehoods. So the truth has to come in, shatter and break things away, so we can really actually experience the bigger truth as it's actually meant to be. When I say meant to be, our relationship with consciousness and our relationship with the truth is, I should say, intended for it to be a opening, liberating experience. So when you hear truth, it liberates you out of some sort of a mental, emotional prison. Right. But instead, because of all these nesting dolls of distortion within the matrix and the Akasha and the 4D field, all these nesting dolls of distortion, we've grown up with total completely turned around and backwards to the energy of truth. So, it's a major journey to wake up to what the truth feels like even, right? So as we learn the truth, it shatters parts of what we thought was real, and then we move forward from there. When it's little truths and we can pace ourselves, no problem. When it's big earth-shattering bomb truths, then we need a minute, right? We need to take a breath. We need to do whatever that self-care thing is that we know we need to do. And it's not even just one self-care. When they're really big bombs and it totally shatters your life, you're leaning on every friend and you're doing everything on a multi times a day to keep yourself straight, right? I think you guys can relate to certain pieces like this. So the reason why this is what I'm being shown is that the reason why this is occurring is that we're being prepared. Our emotional fields are being prepared. Our emotional fields specifically are purging subconscious structures that are rooted in folly, are rooted in falsehoods, rooted in something that is not the truth through the many nesting doll realms. So when I talk about truth, right, there's big truth and little truth. There's the truth of my name is Christina and I woke up today and had a cup of coffee, right? There's that kind of truth. But then there's like these larger, profound truths, right? And these larger, profound truths give us epiphanies. They wake us up to stuff that we've never been awoke to before. They crack us open to things that we've never that are totally new to our experience, right? Profound truths come from a higher order of being. Let's call it like that. So we have these, you guys are familiar with the different kinds of star beings that have been coming to this planet and interacting with humanity for many thousands of years. There's all sorts of star families that have been interacting with us, and they are considered to be higher dimensional beings. Maybe not a better than, well, all right, in the past several thousand years, they were kind of turned into gods. But before that, they were, it was a different kind of relationship. I'd say several 100,000 years, it was a different kind of relationship. And I know that's on a different historical clock than the accepted current timeline. But there's a lot of evidence that tells us our currently accepted timeline is not accurate, right? So you guys won't hold me too hard to that one. So these star nations have been interacting with us for tens of thousands of years, according to indigenous lore, right? And there's a lot of acceptance of the fact that they've not only been working with us and guiding with us, they're our family, they're our star family, our star brothers and sisters. Okay, there's a close connection between them and us in this lore. And when we start talking about higher dimensional beings, we're talking about profound stuff. We're talking about something that really has an impact on us in the human biosuit in the here and now. If you guys ever been to see a spiritual master, you ever notice the energy is completely shifted around them, and who you are and what you experience very often is totally something new to you that just unfolded, right? So the energy of these beings are really are vibrating intensely with the frequency of truth. I mean, they're vibrating in the real truth of what is held in the outer nesting doll field. So we can say cosmic truth, galactic truth, stellar truth, solar truth, earth truth, right? There's all these nesting dolls coming together, and there's a truth that not only resonates through them all. So when you have a being that is in resonant truth on all these different nesting dolls, we refer to them as higher dimensional beings. They being around them is really intense energetically for us. Being in the gaze of these beings, there's lore even within the indigenous story. If you even see the person's eyes, these beings, if you even look at their eyes, you can have a major event happen that impacts your timeline trajectory throughout time and space in the Akasha. There's also, the Mayans have stories of there's beings that if you look at them, you'll drop dead instantly, right? So there's this idea that there's this energy that's so intense that humans aren't able to handle it very well. Most humans are not able to handle it very well. Okay, so there's this idea that is well known through many traditions, and this is what I feel like we are being prepared for. This is why we are purging our emotional field right now. So when these energies that are these neutrinos, as they build in intensity, passing through, awakening consciousness inside the earth and our bodies, and the truth even more strongly gets revealed and even more resonant in these expanded levels, we are less likely to have the psychotic break / meltdown, right? I mean, I've seen egomaniacs, like really, really successful egomaniac, high level wealthy CEOs, really accomplished surgeons, like people that really have the authority, and they are, they're the shit, and they go before a being like this and they are sobbing like a baby, right? Kissing the feet of the master. And it's because this kind of truth cuts through the ego driver like nobody's business, right? So all this stuff is purging, it's dissolving. There's many of us who have chosen to be living in the frequency where we get to experience it first, right? We get to go through it first. A lot of that is because we have so much resilience. We're resilient, and it's amazing how resilient we are. And I know, that's something that we can overtap sometimes because we have this thing about, being of service. But when we are, in this kind of context, I feel like this is what our resilience is actually meant for, is to process the awakening of these consciousness, this level of consciousness in a graceful way where we can then, rip the Band-Aid off, process that, and then walk through the rest of the collective and help them with their process, because they may not be as resilient. They may be those sobbing CEOs and surgeons, at the feet of the master. Many people do respond that way when intense interdimensional frequencies, especially the truth, get revealed. Now, it doesn't need to be something they acknowledge inside themselves. It's a presence that reveals itself And this is the part that's where we come in, the way showers come in. All right, so this purge is necessary. So when those outer nesting dolls of these higher frequency levels of consciousness get activated and start passing through us, right? It gets activated and it starts passing through us. We need to be able to handle it. We need to be able to not get thrown for a loop and have to process for 3 weeks, right? It's more of once we've have this purge go through, once we get the digest the truth in such a way where we come into right relationship with it, then we can truly serve moving forward in a larger way.